Alright, so let's talk about one tool that you can use to help out yourselves, which is called Body Talk Cortices. So this is addressing your whole brain, and it is designed to not just work on the brain that's here, but everywhere there's a nerve cell. So we actually have more nerve cells in our heart than we do our head. Isn't that cool? There's something special about the heart. Okay? So there's also a whole lot of nerve cells in our gut. We call this our gut brain. We've got our heart brain, we've got our gut brain, we've got our head brain. We also have a nervous system that goes everywhere throughout our body. So we're going to address the impact of all those nerve cells everywhere. Make sense? If we were to address our nervous system, which is in charge of everything, what could change? Everything. Doesn't that make sense? Yeah. So most commonly we see that the two sides of the brain start to communicate better, which people then experience as, relief. Because imagine having inside of your head these two sides of the brain that are arguing all the time. I'm sure you've never had those arguments with your loved ones. Right? Now also imagine what if happens and the silent treatment kicks in. Yeah? Well, in science we call that a coma. Meaning there's not talking at all. That's kind of a problem. How many of you feel like you're living your lives in just a little bit of a coma? Right? Yeah. So the other one where they're talking all the time and nobody's listening, we call this ADD, ADHD, or there's a whole lot of names for it out there these days. How many of you feel like this? Yeah. So whether you're feeling like you're in a little bit of a coma or a little bit like this, we can help. We've actually helped a lot of people get out of comas with Body Talk. This has happened twice now. This is pretty cool. Over in North Dakota and over in Germany, we had nurses in Body Talk classes that happened to be working on the coma wards. So they went ahead after their classes and they tapped out all the cortices of their patients that they were working with. And the next day, within 24 hours, 9 out of 11 and 4 out of 6 clients woke up out of their coma. The coma ward was in an uproar. How cool is that? So we literally see the brain turning on, gearing up, and making the changes that we're asking it to make. You can even hook people up to EEG machines that monitor brainwave function, and you can trace these sorts of brain activities in a Body Talk session when we're tapping. We literally see the brain turn on and gear up, and within 5 to 6 seconds we see spike wave activity happening. So we literally see the brain turning on. How neat is that? So if you stick somebody's head inside an MRI, I know there's a lot of debate upon, functional MRI and all that these days and what are they really picking up on, but you will see changes in blood supply in areas that are cold or areas that are warm, meaning there's actual blood supply and nerve supply flowing to that area. So think of this technique. Imagine as if you're in an MRI, you want every part of your brain lighting up. So you want blood circulation and nerve supply happening to every part of you. Okay? So when we do the technique, you're going to start with fingers together, and you're going to begin just above your neck at your skull bumpy. So that's a technical term. Okay? Take your other hand, fingers wide, and tapping over the head. So this is pressing your fix-it button. Take some slow, deep breaths here. And then we're going to tap over the heart. This is the save it button. And another slow, deep breath here. Good. And now you're going to move up a hand position. You're going to squiggle up, also a technical term. Okay? And again, you're going to tap here. If you want to tap for longer than 2 breaths, feel free. But we recommend a minimum of 2 breaths. So you can tap for about 1 breath on the head and then 1 breath on the heart. And then you're going to move up a hand position. If your hand's in the way, not a big deal. You can tap right over top of that. Now, if at any point in time your arms get tuckered out, you can even switch that up. And you're going to keep coming all the way till you get to those eyebrows. There's a really important part of your brain that lives here, so make sure you get right up to the eyebrows. This is your prefrontal cortex. It does a lot for us. It's like the heart of the brain. Okay, so however many hand positions that takes for you is going to really vary depending upon your head size and your hand size. So if you've ever seen Dr. John Beltime, the founder of Body Talk Work, his hands are pretty big. So he could cover most heads in maybe 3 hand positions. Me, it'll take 4 or 5 hand positions. Now there's one more after you get to the eyebrows, and you're going to then end on the sides of the head. You can do this one 2 different ways. So I'll show you both options. The first is take one hand off and tapping here. Okay. And then doing the other side, remembering to breathe. Okay, that looks very good. The other alternative, if you want to make that last one work a little bit faster, is that you can use both hands at the same time. Take both hands off and double tap. Both of those work. Double tapping is totally allowed. And that's it. That's all there is to your Cortices technique.